Fox Football runs it way back. Kendall Gammon mines the wealth of knowledge of former players. Brought to you by Mid-American Wealth Advisory Group. Let them design the financial plan that is right for you. MidAmericanWealthAdvisory.com. Now, here's Kendall.
Here now with my former teammate, Sean Barber, a.k.a. Barbershop. Sean, first and foremost, appreciate you coming on and sharing some knowledge with us. Talk to me about the last week's game. Obviously didn't go the way the Chiefs wanted. Could have gone either way. It was a close one at 24-20. Your thoughts quickly.
I mean, I think quickly as I just summarize what happened in the game, early on, we didn't take some points. You know, fourth down inside the red zone, we didn't take points. We kind of pushed the envelope. That led to a turnover in the red zone. That's a little bit unlike what we do, but obviously I think both teams realized who they were playing on the other side of the field and expected it to be a high-scoring affair. Both defenses played kind of par football. They played back, kept both quarterbacks a little bit off the tilter. Of course, Josh Allen started off 1-10 and get hot in the second half at the end of the game. Pat was pretty much Pat the whole game, man. He played pretty well, except for that, turnover in the red zone. Then late in the game, and there was a few balls I think that hit some receivers in the hands, some big plays that still could have been made and left on the field. All said and done, man, I think we had two heavyweight fighters, throwing haymakers at each other. I thought that at the end of the game, the last team that had the ball, if they was, less than one score away, would be the team to win. But the defense rose up for the Buffalo Bills. The safety made a great pick on the ball. That lurk coverage, that cover one with the lurking safety, Patrick just didn't pick him up and threw a crossing zero route, and he picked it off to seal the game. But Von Miller had an excellent game with pressure. Chris Jones had an excellent game with pressure. It kind of went back and forth, tit for tat. Both teams, the star players were making plays. Awesome game from Kelsey. Awesome game from Juju. MVS. Obviously, we had a legal offensive lineman downfield that took back a touchdown. So that was a big call in the game. And I just think looking at it, from both sides of the field, both teams just, walked away with respect for one another, thinking, we can't wait until we play each other again.
Speaking with Sean Barber, former Kansas City Chiefs linebacker, my former teammate a while back also. Sean, we won't talk about how far back that was for both of us, but take our listeners into the minds of a linebacker when you're playing somebody like a Mahomes or a Josh Allen who can do so many different things. Can that be maddening? I'm not going to say it's intimidating, but it really brings a different style of play into play, I guess, doesn't it?
I mean, definitely. I mean, linebackers, I think traditionally we are run stoppers. We are meant to fill gaps, hit fullbacks, shed blocks, bring the running back down, and just play underneath coverage against running backs in the flat or tight end on Y options or Y stick routes. And both of these offenses, you talk about the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, both of these offenses, they stretch you vertically and horizontally. So you got to cover every blade of grass on the field from sideline to sideline. And they have weapons that can, the Cole Hardmans, Sky Moores, the Gabriel Davises, Gabe Davis, and then the Stephon Diggs. I mean, all four of those receivers can be a nightmare on a vertical route. And both of these quarterbacks can throw it from every arm slot, and I mean, pretty much 80 yards down the field can pick you off, and they're so accurate with that football. It is maddening sometimes for linebackers because you found like you're in a great call, you make a great call, you got everybody guarded, and they find a window to execute and deliver the ball that you didn't even know was open. You didn't know that window was even available. You thought you had great coverage. And sometimes it's not about the call. It's just sometimes as a player on defense, we always talk about sometimes you got to overcome your coaching. You got to just make a play when one is not there, whether it's a one-on-one block that a guy up front beats, a linebacker blitzing a free gap and bringing a quarterback down or something like that, or then somebody in the secondary making an outstanding play on a ball once it's in the air. So it definitely changes the role from a traditional linebacker. You have to be more of I think we call him a rover back, where you're more of a hybrid safety, just playing in the box as a linebacker. And fortunately for the Chiefs, we have a lot of linebackers that can do that. We was down. Obviously, Willie Gay wasn't a part of the program this game. But, man, 47 and 32, both of those guys, I think, had hell of a games and really got it done and showed us what the future of this linebacker core can look like.
Yeah, you mentioned overcome your coaching. I had to overcome my athletic ability, but that's a whole different topic. Speaking with my former teammate and linebacker, Sean Barber. Sean, you mentioned the linebacker last week. I think it was Chanel and also Darius Harris. But you also mentioned Willie Gay, that we're down, but we expect him to play today. When you see Willie Gay, I mean, those guys performed admirably, and they got some valuable backup time or experience, I guess. But now that you get Willie Gay back, we expect what does he bring to the Kansas City Chiefs defense that maybe they might have been missing a little bit?
Well, I mean, Alexis is a nice car, but a Ferrari is a Ferrari. And Willie Gay is a Ferrari on the field. I mean, he's ferocious. He's got that 0 to 60 time down on 2 seconds, whatever. I mean, that sucker can track a ball and go sideline to sideline, and he's thick. I mean, he reminds me so much of LeVar Arrington. Like every time I see him in his uniform, I think of a teammate of mine when I played for the Commanders, LeVar out of Penn State. Him and Willie Gay are just cut out of the same cloth. They're just such an intimidator as far as when they hit you, man. It like takes your breath away, and the way that they can run and track and just see ball, get ball. I mean, and he also has great hands. He's made a couple picks in his short career already. But even in the practice field, we see, I mean, he has phenomenal vision, instincts for playing underneath coverage and anticipating where the ball is going and making a play on it. So overall, his playmaking ability was something that we just, we missed at the linebacker, that second level, without him being out there. But as always, glad to have him back. I know he's biting at the bit to go out there and make plays. And so I look forward to just seeing him today doing what he does, man, being a ball hawk, see ball, get ball, and letting his instincts take over, and this being big play Willie Gay.
Yeah, exactly right. Hey, one thing that Spagnuolo talked about him when he left was that he was really an energy giver, that he really got the defense going, that he was vocal. And I always felt like that would describe you as well. I mean, you are somebody who's outgoing, that's talking a lot, is very upbeat. You always got a smile on your face and going after things. Can you talk about that? It's not manufactured by you. I know that because I was around you long enough, but that can be hard to be. Is that something natural, or is that something that you develop over time with confidence?
Man, I think it's just a humbleness about thinking about the game of football as a game, and you just so gracious and glad you have the opportunity to play. I mean, it's a physical sport. It takes its toll on your body, but man, we're a unique breed of guys that have the opportunity to play at the highest level. And to think about all the sacrifice, all the days in high school football, college football, and then you actually get paid pretty well to come out here and be a leader on the team and play and lead a defense on the field, being able to make the signal calls and make the calls and the adjustments, to be put in a leadership role of grown men and being able to be having to try to accomplish the task of stopping some of these ferocious offenses. Man, there's a lot of pressure, but I enjoyed it. Man, I enjoyed every minute of it. And when I see a lot of that similar excitement and energy in Willie Gay, we just always talking about what could be happening. Whether there's a draw screen, alert, throwbacks, alert, whatever it is in our mind that we've watched so much film in similar situations. This offense, in this game scenario, in this position of the field, and this down and distance. Just rattling off a couple plays that we might, we think that they might run. Sometimes those things come to fruition and you get it right and you just blow it up. But we've seen Willie Gay use his instincts and use his vocal, his energy to just continue to pump up all those guys and getting them play on another level, especially when you're at home and I got that home crowd. But it's also needed on the road. When you don't have the crowd with you, you got to fabricate your own energy, your own excitement. And, man, I tell you one thing, as a linebacker, the other 10 guys on the field with me, I was their biggest cheerleader. I want to be the first guy there to clap you on your butt when you made a sack or a big play or interception. I ran to the ball like no other because I wanted to be there to celebrate with you when you made a big play. And I see him playing that exact same way, man. So